Hello, and welcome to Therapy, a video series that's part review, part retrospective, but mostly just stuff. The USS Enterprise NCC 1701C. Within the Starship Enterprise lineage, she fits in between the Enterprise B and the Enterprise D. But you already know that. She only appeared in a single episode of The Next Generation. So this wraps up the video, thanks for watching. Only kidding, we'll cover the Enterprise C's history, the evolution of her design, and other stuff regarding the Ambassador class. So let's do it to it!
Do it to it, Lars!
This is the Enterprise C Therapy. In 1986, the introduction of the Enterprise A helped to set up the tradition that each new Enterprise would retain the same registry number, NCC 1701, followed with a successive letter. In 1987, the Enterprise D debuted and set up the existence of two other Enterprises, the B and the C, which were in service during the decades between the Enterprise A and the D. The Enterprise B would be an Excelsior class since it was already hinted at in the movies. That meant the Enterprise C would be an intermediate step between the Excelsior class and the newly designed Galaxy class. Enterprise D designer Andrew Probert created concepts for the Enterprise C that would serve as the basis for the relief model of the Enterprise C on the back wall of the observation deck. If you notice, the design of the Enterprise C model isn't quite the same design we see when the ship makes its debut a few years later, in yesterday's Enterprise. But we'll get to that later. Wait, no, we'll get to that now. The eventual design of the Enterprise C in 1990 would be distinctly different from the observation deck's gold relief model. The design duties fell on Rick Sternbach and Greg Jean, who were on the show's primary in-house design team at the time. Since the ship was only needed for a single episode on a weekly television series, the production team only had a matter of days to design and construct the ship, compared to the weeks of time given to design and construct the previous Enterprise models. This meant that Sternbach and Jean had to make some design tweaks to get the ship built on time and within budget. The most significant modification to the design was replacing the elliptical motif with perfect circles. This is most evident in the saucer section, secondary hull, and nacelles. Though this saved the production team valuable time during the design and fabrication of the model. In losing the elliptical motif, the Enterprise C lost some of its design cues that it shared with the Enterprise D, such as the sculpted aesthetic of the hull and the flared waistline. However, an accidental result from using the perfect circle motif was giving the C resemblance to the original Enterprise. Considering the short design time allotted to the ship, the designers were still able to incorporate callbacks to other Enterprise designs. The C's stance is similar to the D's, with the warp nacelles positioned lower than the saucer section. The neck shares some design cues with the Excelsior, with the tight horizontal lines here. And the deflector dish bears strong resemblance to the refit Enterprises. So here's a brief recap of yesterday's Enterprise. History recorded that the Enterprise C was destroyed years earlier, fighting alongside some Klingons against the Romulans. This helped smooth relations between the Federation and the Klingons. However, during the battle where the Enterprise C would have been destroyed, the ship inadvertently travels years into the future. This creates an alternate timeline where the Federation are now fighting a losing war against the Klingons. After spending a few hours in present day, the Enterprise C returns to the past and the regular timeline is restored. The year the Enterprise C is destroyed is 2344, which falls during Captain Picard's time aboard the USS Stargazer. So it's possible that the Enterprise C's captain knows Jean-Luc Picard. Nope, she's dead. So let's take a quick trivia break. Tasha Yar plays a pivotal role in yesterday's Enterprise. She's a character that died in a random episode a few years earlier, but since this episode takes place in an alternate timeline, she's still alive. Anyways, she eventually dies again. So how does it go down? The answer is coming up after this break. So welcome back. The question is, how does Tasha Yar die the second time? And the answer is, because of her daughter, Sela. When Tasha Yar returns to the past with the Enterprise C, she's captured by Romulans. At least one of them did stuff with her that makes babies happen.
It was a violation.
And she has a daughter. Eventually, she tries to escape with her daughter, but Sela blows the whistle. Yar is captured, and they did stuff with her that made her dead. So we don't see much of the Enterprise C's interior, except for her bridge. Like every other Federation ship, she's got compartments loaded with random debris, like rocks that explode whenever the ship is under attack. Anyway, the Enterprise C's bridge is a redress of the Enterprise D's battle bridge. Notice how they share the same elevated rear section and overall layout, since they're built on the same platform. This set was built using some of the components and on the same soundstage as the refit Enterprise bridge. So while the Enterprise C would never appear again, the Ambassador class model would be used a few more times. Since the model was quickly built, the Ambassador model was continually tweaked to either improve its screen quality or conceal imperfections from the camera. Here's a rundown of these modifications. So there you have it, the Enterprise C. Andrew Probert's initial concept is being fleshed out for a web series, Star Trek Futures. There's a link in the description below. Also, I'd like to thank all the online resources for their assistance in making this video. You make the web an awesome place. If you'd like to stay in the loop for future videos, you've got options right here. There's definitely more videos coming up soon. Either way, thanks for watching, Castillo.
No, I think maybe I'd like it better if you called me Richard.
Thanks for watching, Richard.